Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on a Monday morning Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnati on this great last Monday in November. How was your Thanksgiving? Obviously, mine was pretty good. It was nice. Had some family I haven't seen for a while. I met my nephew's new girlfriend, who was very sweet. She brought us a nice cake baked in Italy, which was cool. So it was great. How about yours? Was it good? That's good to hear. And Seahawks yesterday, I would really like to celebrate their victory, but it was against the 49ers. Look, if they can't beat the Whiners, I mean, come on. But hey, at least it was a win. But look, now usually I don't do this. You know, those of you who watch the show, all 5 or 6 of you out there, you know that I do the probably worthless opinion. Well, I got a letter that I actually read. I usually don't read them before the show, but I read this one. The guy is going to have a baby. So I got a theme with my stories at the beginning of the show today. It's about having kids. And you know that people are having kids because it's the way of the world. I've had 2 myself. You know, and one thing always comes up when women are pregnant. I mean, people talk about what they crave, you know, whether they're craving pickles and ice cream or mayonnaise and peanut butter sandwiches. So Johns Hopkins University did a study to find out what women really crave, women who are pregnant. And what they crave is that men will be the ones who get pregnant. And, you know, my wife and I were having an argument because my wife has had a couple kids. And after our first daughter was born, we were arguing about which hurt more, the pain of childbirth or a man getting kicked in the, you know where. And of course, I said a man getting kicked hurt more than having a baby. And my wife insisted that simply wasn't true. And I said, well, I can prove to you that it is true that it hurts a man more. I said, now you've had a baby, right? And she said, yeah. And I said, it really hurt. She said, yeah. I said, but do you want to have another baby? She said, well, of course. I said, well, you never hear another man say, oh, I'd like to get kicked there again. I never thought of that, did you? But then women are always worried about being unattractive when they're pregnant because, you know, their body changes and that type of stuff. Frankly, I think women are glorious and look beautiful when they're pregnant. But there's always the question, you know, what's the difference between a supermodel and a pregnant woman? And if the husband knows what's good for him, the answer is nothing. Okay. All right, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnetti. I've got a good guest for you today. One of these people who, if you don't know, you should, but you probably do, because he's been on Dan Kuntz's show. So the 10 or 12 of you who watch Dan Kuntz's show will know this guy. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnetti. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Just as we went on the air, Steve, NCW Life is live now on Facebook.
Hey, how's about that? We're live, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Dan Kuntz, your host for the next hour.
Every weekday, starting at 7 o'clock.
Get ready for a bunch of news that's coming your way.
Here's what's happening around North Central Washington. We'll have a rundown of all your local, regional, and statewide news. You can also find more on our website at ncwlife.com. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. That's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on NCW Life News.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
When family come to visit, bring them to Kashmir for a fun Applets and Cotlets factory tour. Liberty Orchard celebrates 97 years making delicious candies such as the original famous Applets and Cotlets and other fruit and nut specialties like Fruit Delights, fruit chocolates, and nutritious orchard bars. Liberty Orchard's country store is open 7 days a week for your holiday shopping. Try the delicious confections at the free sample bar and share with family and friends out of state with easy online ordering. Liberty Orchards, taste the goodness.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Street Talk and other stuff. Now, my guest today is my good and old friend, Mr. Paul Hughes.
Nice to have you come, Mike.
Nice. Me and Paul, we have got history for a long time, but the reason I'm asking Paul on today because Mr. Hughes is the executive director of the Hospitality House Ministries, a ministry that's been operating in our valley for more than 30 years.
That's correct.
Helping a variety of folks.
Yes.
And you're the big honcho, huh?
Well, so far, until they can find someone better.
Okay. They're actively looking?
They should be if they aren't. No, I've been the executive director for about 2 years now. I was on the board for a year before that and was asked if I would consider doing this, and I mistakenly said yes.
Oh, is this one of the things where when you're not there at the meeting, they say, we need a volunteer? Oh, Paul's not here. He volunteers.
No, not quite like that.
Okay.
Actually got to say yes.
Okay, now before we get into that, okay, just tell us a little bit about yourself, because even though you've got this interesting job, you have other interesting things about you.
I have a past, and
he
most of
does.
that I can't share, but I graduated from...
I got some stories if he doesn't want to.
I know.
Okay.
I graduated from WSU in 1978.
Okay, now is that the Cougars or the Huskies? Because I have no idea. Okay. And if I understand correctly,
This is painful.
something happened this past weekend involving the Cougars and the Huskies?
I don't know. I just ate turkey.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think we were the turkey team.
Yeah, that's what I
But
understand.
moving forward, so I applied for this little position at the Wenatchee Police Department in 1977.
Oh,
while I was
yeah.
still in college,
Right.
came back to Wenatchee and applied for this wonderful job. And 9 months later, they said, Paul, would you actually like to work here? So I said yes, and was a police officer with Wenatchee for 31 years.
Yeah, so when did you start with the PD? 78 then?
Yeah, October 1 of 78.
Okay, so you were there 8 years before I got there. So,
Yeah, I was laying the groundwork for all of your
yeah, I appreciate that.
stuff.
Appreciate that. But yeah, no, Paul and I worked together. It was a good cop, nice guy. He was very well respected. So,
As was my sergeant, Mike. Man, was he something to... I mean, he was a wonderful supervisor.
I mean, no,
I'm
come on,
sure.
that must have been really a pain in the neck, though. This new guy who was kind of a jerk suddenly gets promoted to sergeant. You must have been saying, now I've never asked anybody else this before, but you must have been saying, what the heck was Batchley thinking?
Well, you always talked well,
Well, yeah, I had
so
a lineup.
you kind
I had
of
a
talked
lineup.
yourself into that position, perhaps.
Really? Okay.
You're still talking, so that's all good.
Okay. Well, I don't think Chief Batchley liked me very much when I first started. I heard some stories that,
Let's not add that list up. Who has stories?
But no, Paul and I worked together as well the entire 20 years I was there.
Yeah, I stayed, before you were there, I was
Right, you
there, and
stayed
after you
after.
left, I was there. It's like,
So you created the groundwork for me, and then you covered up all the
yeah,
stuff.
I shoveled that stuff away after you left.
Oh, cool, good. Well, it's good to have you. But you're.
Thank you.
And then when you left the PD, you worked for Link for a while.
Drove bus for 5.5 years
Right.
for Link Transit. Yes,
Okay.
I did.
And then tell us about you getting this job with Hospitality House, because this is really important.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. I feel a lot of responsibility. We house 70, 80 people every night in the shelters. If we weren't doing that, a lot of those people wouldn't have any place to be,
Sure.
any safe place to be.
Okay, so tell us specifically about Hospitality House Ministries, their mission statement, and what their whole purpose. I mean, because you do more than just provide housing for homeless men. So
over 30 years ago, the founder came to town and he brought a hitchhiker to town and where do I drop the hitchhiker off? Where's your shelter? And it was told at the police department, oh, there is no shelter.
Yeah.
So back in the early 80s, he started one from ground up, really in an old rundown hotel south of Wenatchee. 10 years later, they moved to our current men's shelter,
Right.
which is located in the gully across from the waste management transfer station.
Right.
We prefer to say just north of the Humane Society. But either way, we're in the gully. It's the men's shelter. Has 2 stories, large facility. We have about 80 beds, 70 mattresses.
Right.
But we most of our living there for the men are bunk beds, and we
Kind of
have
dormitory style?
Dormitory style for most of them, and a lot will stay 2-3 weeks, sometimes longer, and then a few have been there a very long time. But
Sure.
we think it's a vital ministry. Not only do we provide housing to homeless men there, but we provide meals to the community at no cost.
Yeah, because it's not just housing. I mean, people
right.
eat there as well.
That's right. It's a larger facility. Our cafeteria seats at least 70. And so we provided, this last Thursday, Thanksgiving, we provided at least 200 meals, lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
That day we had, I was told 35 volunteers came in, did a great job for us. Thank you if you're out there and for some reason you've chosen to watch this show. But
Well, they're homesick with the flu, you know.
turkeyitis.
Right, exactly.
So we had a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I was out of state visiting relatives, so I didn't help out at all.
Oh, yeah, you planned that well.
Well, anyway,
But that has been the primary ministry of Hospitality House.
well, that was the springboard, the
Yeah.
men's shelter, and then about 2000, we opened the women's shelter, which is an older 3-story house in residential Wenatchee.
Right.
We have
That's Haven of Hope.
Haven of Hope, correct. And we have we have 26 beds there. And the last couple of weeks, we've been very full there. We've got around 50-some men at the men's shelter, but we've got like half that many in a much smaller place at the women's shelter. And we also women and children. So we have a mom or a single lady with kids. We accept them as well. This older house was remodeled over the years, and some of the bedrooms were enlarged to make the dorm style living there, but we saved 4 small bedrooms for moms with kids.
Okay. Now, just to get back to the men's shelter, you were saying you've got somebody there in their 70s who's been there for about 20 years.
We have,
This is incredible. Where else would this person be if...
Well, we have
you're providing for 'em
2
wasn't
men that I'm
available.
aware of that were there when the shelter was built.
Right.
Over 20 years ago, about 20 years ago. So, for those 2, it's like they didn't have any place else to go. Didn't have family that would welcome them home or whatever. And they do a great service for us. Both of those men are active in helping the ministry.
Yeah. Now, there's one thing I want to point out here why this is so important. Okay, you may think 1 or 2 guys, what's the big deal? But you're familiar with the Talmud, right? The Book of Jewish Wisdom?
Yes, all that, which I'm sure you're full of.
Actually, there's just a verse in there that I don't think I would quote the Bible, but I don't think there's a comparable verse, though I think the feeling is the same. If you save the life of one person, you save a world, okay? Because you're saving everything that else that person contributes to. Maybe it's only 2, but to those 2 people, it's incredible the service that you're providing for them.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, because where else would they be?
Yeah, and we have individuals that I've gotten to know over the last 2 years. Some have come and gone. We had one young Hispanic gentleman.
Sure.
I'd been there only a couple months, noticed he was working in our kitchen. By the way, we asked most of the men to do chore work there to offset room and board. So that's very helpful for us to keep the operation, especially feeding the meals to the public that we do there. But this gentleman, and I have his permission to say this without his name, that he was actually, he was like walking with a limp, and I didn't know. And then he became one of our front desk guys that answered the phones. And when we finally started talking, I learned that he'd been shot in the back 4 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He reached over and picked up somebody's cell phone, and maybe it was a drug dealer's cell phone, I don't know. And he said he was shot in the back, hit in the leg and the arm, and I think twice in the back, and he was in a lot of pain.
Okay, so he's basically disabled.
Well, he was, but he had never taken the step in that direction, and so we helped him get his disability. I took him to a couple different doctor visits toward getting his disability, which helped him quite a bit. Now, he was there about 6 months, and then he he was able to move on. But
Okay.
he was very quiet, very shy,
Yeah.
and it was just amazing. He was very helped.
Okay. Haven Hope.
Yes, we have a director there, Kathy Blauman. She
Yeah,
does
and
a
Haven Hope, again,
great
is your
job.
shelter for women and children, right?
Right, and we have an on-site resident manager when Kathy's home at night. But that's a great ministry. And something that happened there that's not at the men's shelter is we have some ladies from the community who volunteer to mentor, individually mentor some of our ladies. I think we got 12 or 14 right now.
Right.
From the community, and we'd be happy to accept more. So we're trying to serve those ladies as well.
And what is their mentorship? What does that consist of? I mean, what are they doing with these gals?
It's developing a meaningful friendship and hopefully adding some guidance to the lives of people that have sometimes lost hope.
Sure.
You know, and you know, we have a lady there that, you know, has, you know, I know she's been abused by her spouse, and it's not all, but some of our ladies have come out of domestic violence abuse.
Right.
And it's a struggle for them even to get pointed in the right direction. And having some one-on-one assistance is really important for their lives.
Yeah, because a lot of them feel like they're powerless, they don't know what to
Yeah.
do, they don't have any other resources.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, and how many women do you have there now?
Well, like 18 and then
Okay.
another 8 kids or something.
Okay, and again, there's other places, okay, there's 2 other women, well, kind of, the YWCA has a women's shelter, but that's really limited, right? Does that still operate?
YWCA offers transitional housing, mostly all for women that I understand.
Okay.
We also have a small emergency shelter for women.
Okay,
White House.
Hospitality House has an emergency shelter?
Our men's section is the ladies is transitional housing.
Oh, okay, right.
So they don't take people in the middle of the night. You kind of interview, make
Okay.
sure we have room.
Right.
Because they have less space. And
Right.
so but Lighthouse Christian Ministries, another great ministry in
Yeah.
the Valley, we're not directly connected, but I'm on contact with their director a lot. They have a women's shelter in East Wenatchee,
Right.
Grace House.
I'm actually going to have one of them on in a few weeks too.
Great,
I don't know if it's
great.
going to be next week or the week after that. It's
Sure.
Still,
So
but hey,
another good ministry.
Right, but yeah, we got to take a break.
Okay.
But I am with Paul Hughes. He's the executive director of Hospitality House Ministries. This is a ministry that's been going on and growing in our valley for more than 30 years, doing tremendous work. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can help if you're interested in a little bit. But hey, street talk and other stuff. Mike, Mad Dog, Magnati, you stick around. We will be right back.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life Channel.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and the floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Mary Maids.
Here at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, we are motivated to sell you your next vehicle. Whether it's new or used, we have a great selection of all-wheel drives, pickups, sedans, minivans, and muscle cars. With huge rebates and incentives on new and competitive pricing on used, There is no need to go out of town to buy, so here's to a great 2017 here at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Get a nice surprise today at Town Chrysler Family Store.
Okay, Street Talk and other stuff. Mike, Mad Dog Magnetti talking with Paul Hughes, Executive Director of Hospitality House Ministries. And there's a point you wanted to make.
Well,
okay?
we didn't mention it earlier, but Hospitality Ministries is a nonprofit 501(c) organization. We're a Christian outreach to those we're touching. So we have, we're funded really by donation, fundraising for the most part. And that's a real big part for the ministry, keeps us going.
And this is something, you know, we see people on the street corners with signs, okay? Now, again, I don't mean to be cynical, but this is called working a sign. Paul and I have contacted these folks, okay? Now, not to say that they're not telling the truth, but it's just my conviction that your dollars are much better spent on the local ministries, such as the Hospitality House and the Lighthouse Ministries, because these folks directly meet these needs.
For instance, our ministry, we require
I don't want to
someone
sound
to
cruel
be,
and hard-hearted here.
Our ministry requires our residents to be clean and sober,
right,
to be in our shelters. So if someone's able to make that step in their lives, and for some it's a huge step,
right,
we want to support that and not intermingle those guys who have finally gotten clean with guys that are still using something that will trigger them and send them right back into some kind of a habit, a substance abuse habit. So.
Okay, and that's just an issue I have, okay? I mean, I want our dollars to go somewhere that are really going to do some good. Okay, we've talked about men, we've talked about women and families.
We also, right now, operate Solomon's Porch for teens, which is a long-time ministry in the Valley, probably open 20-some years at different locations.
It's been quite some time. So.
And about 4 years ago, their board asked to formally join our ministry, which did occur. So we've been operating for about 4 years downtown on Mission Street, between the movie theaters, Solomon's Porch.
The old Sirocco's restaurant.
That's it, and then Oliver's.
That's right, yeah, exactly.
So we're open Monday through Saturday from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night. It's not overnight. And then we offer a free 6 o'clock meal to the teens that are there.
Every day?
Every day.
Do? Wow.
Every day that we're open.
Okay, who does that? I mean, how does
about half of those
that
meals are from volunteers.
Yeah.
And we could always use some more volunteers if they're interested in preparing the meal, bringing it down, or making it there. And we vary quite a bit night to night. We might have 2, we might have 12.
Right.
So you're probably making a meal for 10 people, ballpark.
Sure.
And we have, it's really good when our volunteers intermingle with our youth that are there, and some reality crosses paths between the young minds and maybe some more mature folks.
Right. Well, mature, relatively speaking, so to speak. Okay, fundraising opportunities. What can people do? I mean, other than, what can people do in the season of giving?
This season is important for this ministry, as many ministries and churches, relying on the Christmas
spirit of
giving, yes, really to bolster us through part or much of the year ahead. So you can go to our website, hospitalityministries.org, not Hospitality House Ministries.
Hospitalityministries.org.
O-R-G. And if you click to our donation page there, you can donate online. You can always donate to us through the mail. We have a post office box. We don't get mail at the men's shelter, but we pick it up at the post office box. And so donations directly that way. Otherwise, we have coming up a wonderful opportunity to support your Christmas endeavor. We're selling Christmas trees. We sold them last year at the old Hastings parking lot, and this year the clinic has taken that over as parking for their employees. But this year, Localtel has generously supported us in offering the south side of the old post office
right across the
parking
street
lot.
from the studio. Yeah.
That's right, and we've had some great support there. So
excellent.
We should be getting the trees in this Wednesday, and probably open for sale this Thursday, until they're sold out from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. Christmas trees, noble firs, and Douglas firs.
Oh, cool. And as always, if you need more information you can't remember, you can always contact me, Mad Dog at nwi.net. I can hook you up with Paul and give you some more information. But hey, we got to take a break. We'll come back and do something interesting. Okay, so stick around with me. But Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnati, stick around. We will be right back.
Family means something in these parts. Family owned and operated means even more. At Rose Tractor, you're buying more than a product. You're buying years of knowledge through multiple generations. It means you can count on Rose for quality products, quality repairs, and folks who stand behind the products they sell. From your job site to your home to rentals and repairs to new outdoor power equipment, Rose Tractor is growing with you throughout the years. Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is State Representative Kerry Condata inviting you to check out our newest show on the NCW Life channel. We call it the 12th District. Each week, we'll be taking an in-depth look at various political issues that affect our area, our state, and the world. We'll be featuring local and statewide experts on the subject matter at hand. Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and then struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99. It's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
Okay. All right, like I said at the beginning of the show, I read this letter. I do something called Your Probably Worthless Opinion, and I get letters from viewers, and I usually don't read them before the show, but I did read this one just out of curiosity. You're going to love this one, okay? So, Dear Mad Dog, I know you've had some kids, so I need some advice. What is the best way for my wife to have her baby? Why is he asking me this? Just because I have children? Okay, she's almost 8 months pregnant, and we've been getting a lot of advice from people about the best way she should deliver this kid. This is our first child, by the way. Some people are telling us to forget about going to the hospital and just transforming our garage into a delivery room. Well, people do this. Do you remember the movie we saw at the police academy where they're showing that? This family's doing a home birth, and it's obvious they converted their garage into a...
Well, yes.
Okay. Other people tell us a water birth is the best way. This is good. My wife's father said just wait at home until the baby's about to come and call an ambulance or the cops. The cops all know how to deliver babies, and they only want a pat on the back and a cigar. So that way you avoid the huge medical bill. Now, did you ever deliver a baby?
No,
I didn't either.
I was outside when Officer Patterson helped deliver one.
Oh, Officer Patterson. Oh,
Yes.
Jimmy did, huh? Okay. So what do you think? And tell me quickly, because I need to tell my wife. Signed, First Time Daddy. Well, First Time Daddy, unless you want to be signing your letters recently divorced, I suggest you talk to your wife about this really soon, okay? And all I can tell you is, because I think she has more of a say in it than you're giving her. And there's only one thing I can tell you about a water birth. I have no experience with them myself, don't know anybody who did it. I hear they work really well, but they really irritate the other people in the pool. Okay, well, thanks for being here,
You're
Paul. I
welcome,
appreciate
Mike.
it.
Thank you.
Once again, Paul Hughes, Executive Director of the Hospitality House Ministries. If you need more information, you can contact him. You can contact me, maddog at nwi.net. And hey, Street Talk and other stuff. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.